Hey everyone, as the year is coming to a close, we are releasing one more final feature in 2025. Or in fact, we just released it and I thought to share you a little bit of the behind the scenes at soon, because this is really something that we had been struggling with for a long time, or maybe not really struggling, but there just wasn't a good way to do it before AI. Surprise, surprise. So, as a scheduling software, one of the most difficult things is getting people to onboard. And the thing is, we're the type of system where you might not be using a different software, but you will have a process already in place. Because, if people need our product, then they already have a need. They already have shifts, they already have people, or they have activities that need to be sorted. So the thing is, we're not replacing a different software all the time, but we might be replacing even, a handwritten schedule, like something just on a piece of paper on the wall somewhere, or it could be a spreadsheet, which, well, okay, technically is a software, but 99% of the time there is something already in place and that needs to be converted into our solution. And a few years ago, we made some attempts. So we had some ideas where it was like, okay, what if we create standard spreadsheet format where we say, okay, fill in, this information in this column, in this cell, and then we can sort of map it and convert it. And while, technically that might work, just the hassle that it would ask from our users, if they wanna try the product fast, then you would need to go sit down and figure out like, okay, how do I convert my current schedule into this spreadsheet format that they're asking me, and then I will upload that spreadsheet format in the software. Then you might as well just start using the software right away, right? So getting very emotional just thinking about it. But no, so that didn't really work. And then we tried a few things where it was like, okay, can we do some kind of pattern recognition or common export formats from different kind of software? For instance, we know Microsoft Shifts, a lot of people come from there. There's an export function, so the formatting is always the same. And that might work, but then, it's also frustrating if you don't come from Microsoft Shifts, or we need to sort of build all these systems to make it make sense for different kind of files that we could import. But then of course now finally we have AI, and I think this is really one of the best use cases for it right now. The time is really right to create this kind of experience in your product if you have some kind of onboarding that people need to do. So long story short, what it is now you can just select a file, you can drag it in here, and we get all kinds of different formats. So just to show you, like for instance this here, it's a massive sheet where it's like, okay, there's all kinds of information in here. We have different, and you see like this one way that people do it. We get something like this, something like this, something like this. As you can see, it's like all different files. So it's really complicated to make one thing that works for all those things. So right now, if you can just drag it in here, you can just give a little more, you can just hit this generate shift plan and it will convert, or you can give some more description if things are missing, and then that combined will create a schedule. So it will convert into something like this, something that makes sense in our product. So there's a different video for that for users, but I thought, let me give you some insights since you're here watching this and obviously care about it, of what takeaways we got from creating this. So one of the things we just started trying this out, just uploading to one of the models, being like, hey, here's the file, good luck with it, sort of. And then we had a prompt that says, okay, this is what we want to get out of it. So this is sort of the very first version. Our first idea was, okay, let's, we just describe like what needs to happen, and we wanted to get 3 different kinds of output. So one, sort of the shift pattern, which is, what you get over here. Then the other thing we can get from those spreadsheets is, hey, there are first names, last names, usually not emails in the files that are uploaded, but it can create the users, which we also need in the product. And the last thing is, this is like sort of a dateless pattern. And the last thing would be like, okay, if you already have your schedule for, let's say, the coming month, and then we can map the exact schedule that you have into the product. So then you are really seeing sort of the schedule that you already have somewhere else in the product, super familiar, everything makes sense. So you have your users, your shifts, everything in there. It's sort of like a one-on-one conversion. So we decided to eventually just go with the first option, and that's what we have right now. We'll see what we do with the rest here. But the main takeaway or learning that we got while trying this is we started out with a sort of zero-shot approach where we just say, okay, this is what we want, and here's a file, try to make this. So kind of, just imagine a prompt of what needs to happen, and that describes, hey, this file here that you got is someone's schedule. Try to get this here out of that file. So that was sort of a zero shot, or maybe a one shot if you consider that we also later gave like an example of like, okay, this is the exact JSON format that you need to get out of it. But really, I want to give some credit to something that was super helpful in this, and that is Andrew Ng's course for free, by the way. So deeplearning.ai. They have a bunch of courses, but especially this one about Agentic AI. I think it's called Agentic AI. Anyway, just in the first module, which you can watch for free, and you can see within an hour, maybe even half an hour, you kind of got like the fundamental basics out of it. And yeah, it's a really good course that you can just check out for free. Super helpful. And what we learned from versus this zero shot, one shot thing is we broke it down into 3 different steps now. So basically, to summarize it, is we first say, okay, step 1, we will have an agent that just is the scribe. So it will extract the raw data from whatever file we upload. So this could be, the spreadsheet, image, photo, whatever it is. And all it needs to do is just put it into a standardized format. And that's where we stop. So we don't add more to the prompt. That was really a significant improve in the results that we got. So with that output from step 1, we then pass it on to the manager agent, which starts to add sort of the business rules, and it will format it in a way. It will see like this is the raw input, and then it will sort of try to understand the patterns, like, oh, this is repeating. So it starts to group things together and create another output that really starts to make sense for soon, so for our system. And then the final step, only then we start to really put it into the exact format that we need for our backend database, whatever you want to call it. So then only then at that point it becomes the final output that we expect. So that was super helpful. And then what you can do, which he also talks about, is then you can have evals, so you can check with every step along the way, like how well is this working out for this spreadsheet or this input file. So we have many different kinds of files that you could upload, and every time when it fails, we can add something like change the eval to make more sense. So yeah, long story short, that's something we just released, and this course was super helpful. Once again, thanks Andrew. He's a professor at Stanford, by the way. If you want to look him up, very interesting. Also co-founder of Coursera. Yeah, just some random facts there. But anyway, big thanks, and want to wish everyone happy holidays. And if you do want to test this out, then just head over to Soon. And if you once you get started, you will see this here. You can upload your schedule, and you can tell us if this actually helps or if you get a bad result. So yeah, thank you, and I hope you try it out. And if scheduling is completely irrelevant for you, but you're building AI agents or just want to get started, learn more, then hopefully this video was also interesting for you. And I wish you a happy new year.